All right, guys. So in just a few moments, we're going to start. And I'm also posting this on Facebook. All right, guys. So in just a few moments, we're going to start and on Facebook. Hey there, Facebook fam. We are about to get started on a live stream that I've been thinking about for a while now. It's mindset and setting yourself up for success in 2017. It's just another few moments here. Oh boy, we already have followers. Holy cow, that's great. Or watchers, thanks so much. I'm just going to post this before we start. I'm going to post this in a few other groups. Watchers, thanks so much. A moment here. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Cool. You guys can still hear me? Good. All right, so give me just another moment here. I'm going to post this in a few groups. Oh boy. Geez, a lot of people. I'm surprised. I appreciate it. Give me just another moment here. We're posting in a few groups that are related to mindset. I think there's one in particular called Rapid Fire Empire. I think these guys are going to get a kick out of it. Just a moment here. All right. So it is the. So I'm looking at the comments. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me all right? All right. I hope you can hear me. We are a few days away from 2018. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot of opportunity ahead of us. And this is something that I've been really thinking about for a long time. And I'll tell you why it's important to me, and I'm sure you probably have some similar interest in this. In the Constitution, okay, starting with the founding of America, of the United States, it calls for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It doesn't actually talk about happiness. It talks about the pursuit of happiness, and I think that's very important. So first of all, it's in the foundation of our country that happiness is a pursuit. So I think it's a very worthy, important cause. And happiness can be a lot of different things. It could be having money in the bank. It could be traveling. It could be spending time cuddled up with the pets, or with having quality time with the children. It's a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So I'm not here to quantify. I'm not here to quantify or qualify what happiness is to you or me. It could be 1,000 different things, and it could be variations of those things in every which way. So I appreciate for you folks that are following, and hopefully you can share it. Share. In fact, if happiness is important to you, as it is important to me, do me a favor and share this with like 1 or 2 people, or share it on your Facebook screen so that other folks can be thinking about happiness. Because I think happiness is a worthy cause. I think everyone deserves to be happy. And I think for me, the way I interpret happiness is to strive. It's to strive for happiness. It's the ability to search for something that we are striving for, and the ability to achieve those goals. So let's talk about happiness. So the pursuit of it, it's the ability to strive for something. I don't necessarily think that it's the achievement of it. In fact, I think for a lot of folks, happiness and success is really about the striving for things. So we're going to get right into it. We're first going to talk about a few different things to be happy, how to be happy. And this is stuff that I've learned along the way, like all of us. There's been some good times and there's been some bad times. And I started, there was one particular time. Yeah, thank you, Alejandro. Same to you. There's a time in my life in late 2015 and early 2016 where things had never been so bleak for me. And that was when my now wife broke up with me. And so one of the things that I learned during that period is, and it has been reinforced since, is to show gratitude. Something very simple. And I'm not talking about outward displays of gratitude. I'm not talking about big, bold behaviors. I'm talking about micro behaviors, small things. And I think this is critical. This is critical for my happiness. And what this means for me is every day waking up and either writing down 6 things that you're grateful for, or sharing it with someone. Identify 6 things that you're grateful for. And when you do this every single day, you will come to realize that the big things, I'm grateful for the beautiful place that I live in. Fantastic. Check. Next one. I'm grateful that I have a steady job. Okay, cool. Love that. I'm grateful for the family and friends that I have. Cool. But you know what I'm also grateful for? I'm grateful for that great double shot of Nespresso that I have every morning. And I'm grateful that I can wake up every morning and eat a good meal. And I'm grateful for the little things. And I think the point here is gratitude. Showing gratitude is about the little things. It's about, hey, I have a great new laptop. It's cool. I love it. I have some of the best technology in the world available at my fingertips. I'm grateful for that great meal that I had last night. I'm grateful that I had a meal last night. And I think the importance here is, yeah. Hi, Katie. The important thing here is that by showing gratitude every single day, it rewires your mind. I'm sure you can find statistics that identify this, but the idea here is you can wake up and be happy about things, or you can wake up and be upset about things. You can wake up feeling, you can wake up proverbially on the wrong side of the bed, or you can wake up and be grateful. Be grateful for anything. Be grateful for that cool cup I got in New York 10 years ago. I'm grateful for, I'm grateful for the fact that I have an LA Fitness membership that I haven't used in like 4 years or 4 months. Whatever it is, be grateful for it, because it rewires your mind. And it does a few things. It identifies that you really have a fucking great, sorry, excuse my language, you have a fantastic life. And it could be worse. and you realize all the things that have been built up around your life to make your life the way it is, as good as it is, and you know what can be better. Okay, so it helps you identify the things that make you happy. It helps you identify and recognize the value of all the small things in one's life that I think help us help us be the people that we want to be. So gratitude is important. Gratitude rewires my mind. And what I think is similar here, what I think is similar is my mom. She emigrated from Romania when she was in her early 20s, 2021. And when she moved here, she told me this. When she moved here, she said, "You know what? I'm never going back there, or I'm not going to go back there for a lot of years. I moved to America." And she says, "Whenever I feel down, I smile." Literally, the act of smiling when I feel unhappy, when I feel pissed off at something, when life isn't going well, when I'm just feeling sour and prickly and full of vinegar, smile. The act of smiling makes me feel better. My mom told me this when I moved to New York. I was more or less fleeing a terrible relationship. It was over. I had always wanted to live in New York, and I was definitely feeling some kind of way. I was feeling both very excited and a little apprehensive about moving to New York. And my mom said, "Look, you're going to do whatever you want to do. Now is your time to go to New York." And there were a few times in the first 48 hours of moving there, in the first months of living there, where I was a little depressed, like all my friends and family were here and I was on the other side of the country. And I smiled. Made me feel better. No matter how unhappy I was, felt better. So like that, like the physical act of smiling, gratitude, showing gratitude rewires a person's mind for happiness and positivity. And when you go a step further, we talk about positivity. So we talked about gratitude. Be grateful for something every 6 days, every day, 6 times. Identify 6 things that you're grateful for. And there's a great group called the Rapid Fire Empire, where it's just a bunch of people who are posting about the things that they're grateful for. It's great. And I do that with my wife. And when I fall off from that, when we don't do that for a couple of days, I feel it. Hey, Anita. So be grateful for something every day. And why 6? And the reason 6 is important is because it's a lot of things to be grateful for. Sure, it's the holidays period. There's a lot to be grateful for right now, but like January 17th, you're back in the grind. Be grateful for 6 things. It'll turn your day around. It's like I've been heard it's called like a hacking reality, right? So be positive or be grateful. Be grateful so that you can lean on positivity. So what are we talking about when we're talking about positivity? It's everything that you think about when you think about positivity. It is moving away from things that are negative. Things don't go your way, be done with it. Learn something from it and be done with it. Be positive. Focus on the positive experiences that you have in your life. We all know that person who sits at their desk who's unhappy. They're unhappy when you go to them with work to do. They're unhappy when there's no work. Those types of people focus in on the negativity, and you can do that. You can spend your entire life focusing in on the negativity, and what the negativity gets you is a negative mindset, and you're more likely to react negatively when good things happen if all you're thinking about is negative things. So, as an entrepreneur, as a person that wants to build my life into incredible big things, past my wildest dreams, I need to be positive because I don't have the energy, I don't have the mental energy to deal with negativity because it eats away at me. It makes me feel bad. It makes me feel anxious. It makes me want to do things to people that I shouldn't be doing. It makes me feel upset. It makes me feel less powerful, less in control of my life. When negative things happen, when I choose to focus on something that's negative, the negativity aspect of it really eats away at me. It's like a very bad thing that I don't want to. I don't want to feel negative. I don't want to have negative elements in my world. And this starts to come in waves, and it starts to happen exponentially. So when you're positive, you hear positivity in people. I was on the phone before the holiday with a salesperson in advertising for a company called Ninth Decimal, and this woman, fantastic. She was bending over backwards to figure out a way to make something work for us. Like, we need some targeting. It's a quick turnaround, and it's like not ideal. And I told her, and I said, I love the fact that you're trying to find a way to say yes. And we figured it out. And the campaign is running, and everything's great. But there's a positivity element. Likewise, you can spot when people are negative. You feel it. It sort of it you can feel it in their veins. You can feel it in their pores. You can feel it in the way that they talk and the way that they focus on things. The negativity. So surround yourself with positivity. Be with people. And so that brings you to the next thing. So we talked about gratitude. Say 6 things that you're grateful for every day. It just rewires your mind. Focus in on positivity. Find the positivity in every situation. Then the next step is surround yourself with positive people. If someone's negative in your life, you don't have to cut them out, but kind of, don't spend as much time with them. If you hear someone complaining all the time, look, I'll be the first to tell you, this is work. Because I remember there was one period in 2012 when I had a great job, life was fantastic, and I walked around with a chip on my shoulder. I don't know why. I have no idea. Thanks, Gabe. I appreciate that. I don't know why I walked around. I don't know why I walked around with a chip on my shoulder. It was like a month and a half where I just was in a poor, pissy mood. And someone I was working with, our CEO, was like, Robert, it kind of feels like you have a chip on your shoulder. I'm like, yeah. Why? Don't have a chip on your shoulder. So identify those people. Find the positivity, or cut them out, or don't spend as much time with them. And I'm literally talking about your parents. I'm talking about your coworkers. I'm talking about anyone in your life. I'm not saying be mean to them. I'm actually saying be very positive to them. But don't spend time with folks who are going to cut and focus in on negativity. I want people in my life who are happy, who are positive. And you know what? Happiness and positivity takes work. If you're not going to work at being positive and being happy, or doing the things you need to do to make yourself a better person, yeah, I'll still love you. I'll still be friends with you. I just may not spend as much time with you because I don't want to deal with any of that. Because as an entrepreneur, and not even as an entrepreneur, as a husband, as a family man, as someone who aspires to accomplish things, I can't focus in on the negativity when there's so much positive stuff happening. I can't focus in on the negativity when life is going to throw me curveballs, when campaigns aren't going to go the way they need to go, or I don't win a client, or I don't get a job, or whatever happens, there's going to be negativity thrown at you regardless. So it's going to be there. You don't need to cultivate the negativity. In fact, in order to achieve the things you want to achieve, life, love, happiness, money, relationships, adventure, be positive and surround yourselves with people. I surround myself with people who are very positive. I fill my brain with positive things. I fill my brain with Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is telling me I can do anything. I fill my brain with Gary Vaynerchuk because you know what? He says I can do anything. I fill my brain with folks and conversations. I want to. So I started a podcast. If everyone here go to learnfromentrepreneurs.com. I started a podcast called Learn from Entrepreneurs. Learnfromentrepreneurs.com. And I'll put it in here. Give me just a moment. Hopefully that loads and I spelled it. Yeah. Sorry, give me just a moment here. So here's an example. I started a podcast with the goal of learning from entrepreneurs. Why? Because I need to surround myself with people who are like-minded. I want to learn from folks who are doing big things. I want to be the guy in the room. One of the interviews with a really smart person named Randy Place. He's a fraternity brother. He's doing big things in the real estate business, and he says, I want to be the dumbest guy in the room. I want to be in a room full of really smart people who are doing amazing things, and I want to learn from them. So I started this podcast because I want to surround myself and learn from entrepreneurs, the folks in the world who are doing big things. Okay? So we talked about gratitude. We talk about positivity. And we talk about surround yourself with both positive people and like-minded folks. That's the point. Surround yourself with like-minded folks. Surround yourself, if you're an entrepreneur, surround yourself with people who are entrepreneurs. If you're studying to be a massage therapist, have a network of massage therapists, because I'm sure there are folks all around you who are going to have the same experiences and ups and downs, and you're going to need folks to take care of you. You're going to need folks with similar experiences to bring all of us up. Whatever the thing that you're into, whether it's arts, whether it's building a business, whether it's selling stuff online, whether it's training for the marathon or doing some sort of physical activity, surround yourself with people who are doing the same thing as you. So like-minded people, and make sure they are positive. So happiness, right? This is what we're talking about. We're talking about the pursuit of happiness. It's in our Constitution. If you live in the United States, you live in a country where the Constitution tells you have the right to pursue happiness. And these are the things that I've learned about pursuing happiness, okay? So what else are we talking about? Invest in yourself. Investment. Do something now that will pay dividends for you in the future. This is something that I've been doing. Oh, someone doesn't like that. Oh, wow, all kinds of stuff. So invest in your future. And I'm not talking about, it could be professional development, but it could also be investing in cultivating yourself, in cultivating something to make yourself better at something that makes you happy. You don't have to be professional. It could be anything, right? So what are we talking about here? Time. Invest time in yourself. That may look like spending every Sunday. I used to, and I don't do this anymore, and I really miss it. I need to get back to it. Spend 2 hours every Sunday. Go to a coffee shop, bring your dog if you have a dog, or go with your partner. Go to the coffee shop, drink some good coffee or tea, and read. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate that. Spend 2 hours and read. That's a way of investing time in yourself. Nothing is due. There's no responsibility. The dishes, you don't have to do the dishes. You don't have to cook. You don't have to go to the market. You don't have to do work. You don't have to drive around. Spend 2 hours cultivating your mind. Spend the time with yourself to read a good book or learn something. I read some fantastic books in that time period, and frankly, it's fantastic to spend time with my little dog, Ice Cream. How else can you invest in yourself? Okay, you can spend some money doing courses and seminars. These are critically important. And again, I have to get permission from my wife, permission from my wife for her to say, yeah, Robert, you should do this. Not permission to spend the money necessarily, but it's just like, yeah, that's a good investment. So I spent money and time in seminars, coaching, building programs, make me a better advertising agency owner, and also focusing in on mindset, right? So there are a number of folks who are doing this. Kat Howell is fantastic. She's a force to be reckoned with in this world. I like there's another and she doesn't have necessarily courses or seminars, but it's like surrounding yourself with people, like-minded communities. That's the type of thing. There's this other woman named Brandy Michelle Peters. She does fantastic Facebook stuff, and I've started working with her. Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone. Spend some time and some money listening to the free stuff. There's a lot of free, great content. We are in the most amazing time for folks who have an idea. Now we have a distribution and publishing platform, which is this: Facebook Live, YouTube, whatever it is. You have a Periscope. You have the ability to learn from others. You have the ability to generate interest, or to generate interest and consume content from really smart people from all over the world and all kinds of walks of life, right? So if you're not going to spend money, spend the time watching the free stuff. Like, for example, one of Gary Vaynerchuk's fundamental core things that he talks about is, look, if you're doing something, if you're a dog walker or you're some sort of behavioral therapist for dogs, spend your time on YouTube talking about how you make dogs behave and the theory behind dogs, and making them, when dogs act up, why do dogs act up? Give it all away. Give all that information away. So as the receiver of that information, there's fantastic information all across the way. If you want to learn what real-time bidding is, you can go on YouTube and learn what real-time bidding is. It's the extension of publishing. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Rick. I will list some in the comments when I'm done. So invest time in yourself. Cooking could be a good way to sort of decompress and invest time in yourself. You also save some money. Courses and seminars. There's a social media marketing conference that's coming up later this year for those of you in the social marketing world. There are great conferences for advertising. So, find a way to connect with folks and consume and spend your time consuming this fantastic content, and spend your money consuming great quality educational content if you have it. If you don't have the money, spend the time consuming the free stuff, because the free stuff can give you a lot of value straight off the top. So people are giving of themselves, and you can benefit from that. And I would argue that it's time for you to give of yourself. Give of yourself, because giving of yourself makes you feel good, and you're giving folks a leg up. And frankly, it's good marketing. All this stuff of giving of yourself and going on YouTube and Facebook Live and spending time to generate interest. I could spend the next 2 hours telling you about programmatic advertising, and you'd still be interested in working with me, or hyper-local advertising, and you'd still be interested in working with me, because at the end of the day, I know how to do it really well. But I can give you all the information so you can do it yourself. So whatever field that you're in, if you're a massage therapist, if you're a restaurant owner, Gary Vaynerchuk, so Gary Vaynerchuk's story is fantastic. I love his sort of general ethos, right? He spent a couple years, right around the time YouTube got started, creating videos, which was educational videos about wine, so he could sell wine from his dad's wine store. Okay, cool. Give me just a moment. I'm recording this. Okay. So Gary Vaynerchuk had his dad's wine store. They went from $3 million to $60 million a year because Gary Vaynerchuk every day went on YouTube and talked about a different type of wine. Brilliant. So that model of talking about the things that you're interested in or that you have expertise in can go very far to promote your business. It also goes very far in helping people. Help people for the sake of helping people. So I'll give an example. I run ad campaigns for large ad agencies and mid-sized ad agencies and name brand advertisers. And I also run campaigns for folks that don't have big, large advertising spending, because it's important. And these are friends. And if you're not a friend, reach out to me and we can help each other, right? We're talking about an online store or a massage therapy place, right? There are ways. There's at minimum, you benefit because you're helping other people, and by helping other people, the whole world gets a lot better. Hey, Kathy, it's been a long time. Holy cow, it's been like 15 years. So we talked. So just for those of us who are joining, we're talking about mindset. We're talking about happiness. These are the things that I am deploying for myself and within the folks in my sphere of influence to be happy, for happiness. It is in our Constitution. If you're in the United States, it's in our Constitution, the pursuit of happiness. We all have the right to pursue happiness. And I would argue, that happiness is always a pursuit and never a destination. It's a pursuit, but that's a philosophical point. Here are the things that I am doing to pursue happiness that I have learned and that I will continue to activate and do every day into 2018. And that's gratitude, being grateful, sharing 6 things that I'm grateful for every day. And it's a lot. Like 6 things, it starts to get a lot by day 10. You're talking about like 60 different things. Holy cow, do I have 60 things to be grateful for? Yeah, I do. I have hundreds of thousands of things to be grateful for. In millions, arguably. And I think we all do. And I think it's finding time to see that thing that we're grateful for completely changes the way our mind works. It's more or less hacking reality. If you want to achieve something in 2018, start with gratitude. Be grateful for something, for 6 things every day. That leads to being positive. You're trying to hack. The goal is to hack my mind, hack your mind for happiness and positivity, because we all know the negative folks in our lives. It's not fun to be around them. They're complaining about something's not good, there's not enough of it. You know what? Be positive. Find the happiness. Find the positivity. Find the thing that you can find in any situation that's like, fan-freaking-tastic. This worked out really well. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. It's all iterative. Be better today than you were yesterday. So positivity, we want positivity. And I want to surround myself with folks who are positive, because positivity is contagious. And if I'm surrounded by a bunch of positive people who tell me I can do anything I want to do, and I can live a life I've never even imagined, and I can have a love I've never even imagined, or I can have the family I've never imagined, I can achieve everything I want and then some. Those are the people who I want in my life. So positivity happens when you surround yourself with like-minded people, and that applies to anything you want to achieve. Whether you want to run a triathlon, you want to run a marathon, you have an ad agency like I do, you're focusing on programmatic advertising, you want to learn programmatic advertising, you want to sell more, you want to launch a podcast, you have a technology startup, whatever it is that you're doing, surround yourself with like-minded people. You're going to be able to lift yourself up and really learn from the experiences of other people, carry each other when something negative happens and you're like, oh man, I really had a bad day today, like help me out. The best people for that are people who are like you, who have the same or similar experiences as you. And for all of us who are listening to this feed right now, I guarantee you we are all looking to achieve something. That's just who we are as humans. We want to achieve something. We want more money. We want more adventure. We want love. We want happiness. We want security. We want a better job. We want to have giggles with our friends. Whatever it is, like it could be really big things. It could be really small things. And even the small things, I would argue, are big because they're important to you. Whatever it is, just because I want to have $100 million advertising agency, and someone else wants to be slimmer, like I want to be slimmer. Those are all important things because they're important to us. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. It doesn't matter that Gary Vaynerchuk has made $17 million this year. Good for him. That's inspiring. I love to see that. That's awesome. I want to be inspired by that. I am not interested in competing with him. I'm interested in competing with myself. So surround yourself with like-minded people, bring each other up, be positive, and invest time in yourself. Time in courses, time in soul-soothing, time in reading, time in cooking, all the things you need to do to kind of make yourself feel like you're you're just relaxed, that you're comfortable, that you feel good in life. And if you feel mentally or physically constipated, like if you always feel a sense of anxiety and you don't like that, like look, you may thrive on a sense of anxiety. Awesome. I love it. If that's what makes you work, keep doing it. But if you don't like that, if you don't like the way you feel when you feel anxious, then soothe it, make it go away. And that's those feelings that may be small. I may wake up feeling unhappy today, but that turns into big things, because you know what, by 12 o'clock, if I'm riding down the road and the guy cuts me off, if I'm in a negative headspace, well, guess what? I'm going to drive up next to the guy and give him the finger. But if I'm in a positive headspace, let it go. Who cares? Right? So little things like gratitude, little things like surrounding yourself with the right person, they're little, but they build on each other. And it amounts to a massive growth hack, a massive soul hack, happiness hack, right? If you want happiness in 2018, these are the things that I will be doing, and I hope you will be doing too. And so that's sort of it. I think it's important. There are other things, right? Like I have some notes around taking massive action, and I think that's almost like a podcast or a stream for another time, because once you're happy, right? If I can wake up every day and know how to master my head into being happy, right? So for example, Litecoin, if you're into the cryptocurrency, Litecoin's down. I bought some Litecoin at 300, and now it's at 230. That's not good. I'm not happy about that. But you know what? I'm happy for 1,000 other things, and I'm grateful for 1,000 other things. Like today happens to be the 1-year anniversary of when my wife and I got engaged in London. So there are a lot of things to be happy about, and it's a matter of recognizing those things so that you can push yourself into the right path and steer oneself away from the wrong path. So I think that's it, guys. If you like this, I hope you share, and I hope I can get a few additional comments or a few additional likes. Everyone, Dan, Kathy, Haley, Jaime, wow, Gabe, Victor, all you guys who followed, I really appreciate it. If this was helpful, I hope you share. And what I'm going to do is write in the comments some of the folks who I pay attention to, some good books that I'm reading right now that with inspiration, right? I don't want any room for negativity. I don't want people in my life who are going to tell me about how everything is wrong. I don't want to hear it. Not at all. I will have compassion. I will have empathy for you. But I don't want that negativity infecting my worldview. I spend a lot of time listening to Grant Cardone. There are a couple books, Be Obsessed or Be Average. But again, that's more for how, like mindset and for an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, that's a fantastic book. I watch a lot of videos from Gary Vaynerchuk. And I'm if you want to learn more about digital advertising, you can check me out on YouTube, where I have videos around digital advertising. But we're really talking about mindset. And I'll say, as an entrepreneur, one of the most important things that I've learned. So now we're going from happiness as a person to happiness as, holy cow, I got to run a business and I got to be profitable and I got to drive value for my clients, which is a massive thing. So if you're having trouble being happy, like without the pressure of running a business, it adds to the stress of achieving or striving for that happiness when you've got a whole new set of challenges on your plate. And so for salespeople, right? Salespeople have that same type of challenge, right? Which is, I got to sell, I've got to build relationships, I've got to make it work. Otherwise, I make less money, or I don't make any money, right? So it's the ultimate you eat what you hunt type of mentality. And to do that, you got to stay positive. And that, it's interesting. I was in New York a couple weeks ago, right when it started snowing, and I was at Little Italy. And Little Italy, I love Little Italy. They have the best garlicky pasta and chicken parmesan. I think the place was called Cafe Napoli. And and I don't know if you've been there, but you have these callers, so that you have the people on the street. These guys are like, hey, they're trying to engage. They're selling. They're not selling products. They're selling, hey, come in, have a good pasta, right? So that's how they compete, because you have like 7 or 10 restaurants like lined up next to each other. So if you don't know one from the next, you basically go to Little Italy, you stop in the first place, and you have a fantastic meal. All the meals are fantastic there, but there's like two that I go to on a regular basis when I'm out there. Man, it was cold. There was not a lot of people on the street, and this dude who didn't recognize me, but I remember him from like 4 years ago when I was in New York. He was having a bad day, and you know what he was doing? I could hear under his breath. I mean, it was like snowing, okay, very cold, snowing. Not a lot of people. Like, I don't know how they get paid. I don't know if they get like a bonus for getting people in the door, or if it's his business. It might as well be his business for all he knows. And the only way that they're profitable if he pulls in people, right? So you have these callers, and he was like under his breath reciting, "Be positive. It's cool." Like this sort of idea of what we're talking about today. Mindset is critical. He was reciting this mantra of essentially be positive, state your game, or whatever he was saying. I didn't recall exactly what he was saying, but he was under his breath trying to keep himself engaged in the positivity, because all people are just passing him, right? And so I think for all of us, I think that idea of maintaining positivity permeates every part of your life, every part of our lives. And this has become such an important element for me as I build my business, my advertising business. But I think it's applicable every which way. If you're a happy person at work, you're gonna be more liked by the folks who you work with. People are gonna be more interested in engaging with you. If you're a happier person with customers, you can still get the sale done and be a happy person. If you're a happy person at time when you go to pay the cable bill, if you're paying them in person, you're still gonna like you, and and you may end up getting better service. So I think happiness and positivity and being grateful permeates every part of one's life, even the parts of life that are difficult, even when things are not going the way you want them to go, even when things are bad. The way to withstand and get through the bad times in life are these tools. Gratitude, surround yourself with positive people, surround yourself with like-minded folks, invest time to recharge and re-energize yourself, and become a person who can self-soothe. If I can self-soothe, if I can make myself feel better by spending 2 hours reading with my dog in my lap at a coffee shop, and that makes me feel better, and I can just forget the rest of the world and just be in my own space reading a great book, that's a fantastic way to kind of have power. And so the ability to generate happiness for yourself turns into power. When I have power, I can control my surroundings. When I can control how I feel, I can control my surroundings. And then no matter what you do, the world seems like a brighter, happier, more interesting space. Whether even if you're not making the money you want to make, or you haven't found the love of your life yet, whatever it is, you will attract good, happy, positive people, and it builds upon itself like a snowball. It builds. And a little snowball of happiness turns into a large snowball of happiness. And that turns into, I think, all kinds of good things. And I think that hacks your reality. So that lets you build your dream business. That's what lets you find the love of your life. That's what gives you the best year of sales that you've ever had. That gets you the job that you want. That gets you the opportunities you want. And it attracts the types of things that you want to happen in your life. It attracts all that. I'm no expert. I'm just telling you about the things that I do when things are difficult, when things are always difficult and things are always awesome. That's what it is to run a business. That's what it is to live life and be in the game of life, right? All right, guys. Well, I've been talking for about 45 minutes. Listen, I really am so grateful that you guys have been commenting, liking, sharing. Thank you for indulging me, and I hope you have a fantastic, very powerful, just amazing 2018, and I hope you have a fantastic today and a fantastic tomorrow. Have a good day, guys.